you've never played a cozy game like this. Hello, welcome to my humble abode. My name's Denise, and recently I tried this really cool game called Tchia that features cool magic powers and is set in a fantastical world that is inspired by a real place called New Caledonia, which is in fact the developer's homeland. The Awaceb dev team took inspiration from all sorts of aspects, which include New Caledonian culture, folklore, traditions, and landscapes. And a lot of the landscapes I can see featured in the game are filled with recreations of iconic landmarks, biomes, and local fauna from New Caledonia. And they even did their best to hire New Caledonian local talent to create the game's soundtrack and voice the cast of characters in the Drehu language. And before I get started, I just want to thank Jenny Windom from Kepler Interactive for sending me a key to try out the preview build of Tchia. And without further ado, let me tell you why this game is unlike any other. Tchia is a tropical open-world adventure game where you play as a young girl named Tchia. Under the orders of the archipelago's evil ruler, Mayavora, Tchia's father was kidnapped, and you must use everything at your disposal to take them out. Climb, glide, swim, and sail your boat around the beautiful islands inspired by New Caledonia as you explore a physics-driven sandbox. Face the fabric soldiers created by Mayavora in open encounters where your creativity gives you the edge. Take control of any animal or object you can find, and jam on your fully playable ukulele. Tchia will be available in early 2023 on PS4, PS5, and PC, accessible from the Epic Games Store. The Awaceb dev team behind the development of Tchia is a small video game studio consisting of 9 people based in Montreal, founded by 2 childhood friends from a tiny island in the middle of the Pacific called New Caledonia. The Awaceb team is composed of people from all different origins, and some have never been to New Caledonia. And obviously, since the game Tchia is based in New Caledonia, it was imperative for them to go ahead and visit New Caledonia. And they visited the island so they could meet the locals who helped voice the characters, make the music, and translate the game. Through these experiences, they were able to see some of the landmarks and places that they're recreating in the game, but in real life, of course. So the build of the game that I was provided was a couple of hours into the game, so I skipped the introduction and all the instructional bits. So I was pretty confused when I started the game. It was kind of overwhelming since there are so many abilities and skills that you can learn, and so many different characters that you just don't really know, and you're kind of just plopped right in the middle. But it was really neat to see some of the menu and options so you can go ahead and learn all those skills. And the devs went ahead and created a really nice video, introduced me to all the awesome abilities that Tchia can do, which include freeform locomotion system, which allows you to go ahead and explore the island to its fullest capability, which includes swimming around, gliding, free climbing, and even doing flips. But you do have to manage your stamina to avoid tricky situations and falling and then dying, I guess. I mean, you don't really die in this game, you just kind of pass out and wake up next to the fire. And I think this system is kind of similar to Breath of the Wild if you've ever experienced it. There's also a really cool ability called soul jumping, which lets you take control of any object or animal that you can find, which includes hundreds of objects and 30 animals. I was able to inhabit a rock, a plank of wood, which was really fun. I can smack my enemies a bit. I was also able to inhabit a pig and a bird, and those are really cool because the pig was super fast, which helped me navigate the island a lot faster, while inhabiting the bird was super neat because you could get an aerial view of the entire island, which was really useful because you do have a map, but it doesn't necessarily pinpoint the exact place you are on the map, and instead it gives you a general idea of where you are. You could also use a ukulele, which is fully playable and can be used to play the magical soul melodies. And I thought the UI for the game looks kind of like the controls for the new accessible PS5 controller, which is probably the case now that I think about it, since this is a PS5 game. And you can even use your boat to sail around the island. It was kind of more difficult than a typical boat navigation game. You have to first adjust the sail and then just the direction. So you kind of have to balance the speed and the direction. And at the beginning, I was super bad at this. It was really tricky for me to balance both. After a while, I was able to utilize the boat pretty well and navigate around wherever I wanted to, which was super neat. There are some tricky places because you do have to maneuver around some rocks and some narrow little streams. but it was a really fun experience. You'll also see some campfires around the island, and these are especially good for customization. You know, we gotta look good. Besides those like main features, you can also play around with Tchia's items, which includes the slingshot, film camera, backpack, and so much more. And this is a open world game, so you do have a variety of activities that you can do within this world. I absolutely love exploring the islands. It definitely felt like I was like a tourist, kind of like viewing the area and all of the landmark. There were also different little pit stops in the game that allowed you to go ahead and eat some wonderful, delicious New Caledonian food, which was super cool because it was very detailed and you could see yourself kind of like chomping on all that food, and eating the food helped restore your stamina. I think my one issue with this game is that it was really hard to figure out where you were on a map. I spent a lot of time just wandering around, which can both be a pro and a con because it really did feel like you're a kid on a journey trying to navigate using a simple map, which is different from how it is nowadays where everybody just uses an app to navigate the world. I'm really curious to see the full build of the game when it does release. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!